is going to be the March and April ramble. I was supposed to do a ramble at the end of March, and I realized I had 2-hour-long videos back to back. One of them was talking heavy, so I'm like, oh, I can't post it. I can't. I'm not even. I was gonna go record. I'm like, I can't even post if I record it. I have stuff to say, but it's gonna be like out of date at that point. So here I am today. I have plenty of things to ramble about with you that I've just been kind of thinking about ruminating on. But again, sorry, because I usually do one ramble a month, and I did not do one last month, but I was talking. I did talk, and there's going to be quite a bit of talking this month, so yeah, sure. But without any further ado, let's get into the video. I have my coffee here. This is what I drink now. You're like, oh, you drink all of that one day. What if I told you I drink two? Would you judge me? Would you judge me? You need a lot of gas to keep this thing going. You need a lot of gas. Also, apologies about the lighting. Something's wrong with the light. I can't figure it out, to be quite honest, so I kind of look like I'm coming to you live from like a cave, but I think that kind of helps the cozy ambiance. I definitely don't feel like a goblin. It's fine. But first thing, I had talked about this a little bit, but our 9th anniversary, my spouse and I was back on the 20th, and right around there we actually went to go see Joe Pera live, and he had 2 comedians open for him. Fantastic. Highly recommend. If you can ever see Joe Pera live, literally do it. Literally, immediately do it. It was fantastic. He has so little, how do I put this? He has like a charisma about him. That is the lack of charisma, if that makes sense. Like, because he is kind of doing things in like a stilted way, that's what's making it work. Like, there were some jokes that he was saying that you're like, he's basically kind of acting like an old dude from like up in Michigan, essentially. He has kind of a 80-year-old and a 35-year-old body vibes. That's kind of his brand of comedy. And he's very good at throwing like little singers in. But hearing some of the things that he said coming out of his mouth when he's doing that kind of like older cadence and everything, which he did break like twice, which was perfect timing when he did it, kind of. It was very good. He put on a very good show. The theater that we were at was actually fantastic. I would go back there again. It was a really good venue. Both of his opening acts, I wish I could remember their names completely. I know another one of them was named Joe. And then, I want to say, was it Tyler? Trevor. I think it was Trevor. I don't remember his last name for the life of me, but he had 2 comedians open for him, which had like wildly different vibes to him. Both absolutely worked with him. But we had a fantastic time. The drive was not too bad, to be quite honest. I'm fine with longer drives as long as I'm able to like get up and like stretch every once in a while. Because whenever we end up going, I was born in Erie, Pennsylvania, so sometimes we'll like drive there. It's like 5+ hours minimum, depending on traffic and depending on, how many times we have to stop and that sort of thing. So I'm very used to being stuck in a car for a while. No issue, no biggie. But the drive was not very far, like at all. I think it was about 2 hours. Easy peasy, no issues there. Just had a nice time. And it's the 9 year. We're not quite the 10 year of being together, or even the 10 year of being married. So, I have 2025 and 2027 for both of those. So it's not the big ones. It's just chill. It was a chill one. It's a 7 and a 9. We've been married 7 hours together for 9. But it was very nice. It was relaxing in a way, even though it was driving all that way to go see Joe Pera. Not a bad time though, honestly. Highly recommend again. He's just fantastic. I've loved Joe Pera for a while. We actually listened to him, one of his little sleep videos mixed in with Jeff Bridges' sleep video, kind of going throughout the room during the night. So I hear him every night. And then we end up playing him after seeing him live. I was like, I saw you tonight, Joe. Wow. Because he says, hello, my name is Joe Pera at the beginning. I said, I just saw you. Hi again. Because I'm insufferable and I have to make jokes at any point where I can make a joke. And if a joke is to be made, I will. I will do it. I will. Speaking of I will, we listened to Danny Brown, Triple X on the way up, and I love that album. I love Danny Brown so much. What a guy. Like, what a talent, genuinely. He's supposed to be opening, or no, sorry, he's supposed to have Alice. Oh, is it? I can't remember all of the letters. Is it Long Yu Gao? There's a really, really, like, fantastic, I don't even know what I would categorize her as, artist that I already liked, and I found out that Danny Brown is having her open for him at a couple of shows. I was like, oh, that makes sense. It does, absolutely. It looks like he's been doing great lately. I've seen his vids on Twitter. He's looking good. He's looking really good. He seems like he's very happy within himself, which is going to be leading me into the next point. But I'm happy to see that, especially when you do go back and listen to the album. Triple X has a lot of things where he kind of thought he wasn't going to be making it to the age he is now, and it's very nice that he was wrong, honestly. Very good artist, highly recommend. But that is actually leading into what I wanted to kind of talk about, which is, so as some of you may know, if you've kept up on me saying, hey, I'm going to be 30, I'm going to be 30 in August, and it's a good topic. This is good overall, but it is going to be a little, like my little finger thing here. Hold on. Let's just keep that going for a second. The topic is going to be a little, it's going to be like a little, uncomfortable for like half a second. But it's real. We're real here, okay? Like we're not gonna, I will make things flow a lot better, but it's not gonna be sugarcoating. It's kind of like smoothing, like that, so you're getting everything. But it's just like, maybe I put it in a blender for you so it's a little bit more palatable, that sort of thing. So, I'm 29. I'm going to be 30 in August, right? This is heavy trigger warning, actually. Immediately I have to say that because I know how I'm going to want to word this, but heavy trigger warning. Just a heads up. If you're not in a good space, maybe skip the rest of the video, actually. Just to give you a heads up. Perhaps I'll be able to put timestamps if I can figure it out where exactly I'm going to be beginning and ending fully. But just a little bit of trigger warning here. Should make sure you're in a good spot. So I'm 29. I've kind of alluded to this a couple of times, but I dealt with quite a bit of self-hatred over the years. Especially when I was younger, because I had a very bad childhood, which again I've kind of alluded to. I actually did talk a little bit more in depth about it in a video at one point, but honestly I felt a little uncomfortable getting that close, so I did private the video. But some people probably will remember because a lot of people watch that one, oddly enough. And I'm not really embarrassed about it, to be quite honest, because I mean a lot of it, I've been doing my best with what I got, the cards I got dealt, with the family I was born into, essentially, and the circumstances. So, I've done as well as I really can. I can't really blame myself for a lot of actions in the past because either A, I have completely changed that behavior and I am genuinely sorry, or B, I had literally no part in it. I was just, almost kind of held hostage in the situation. So I dealt with a lot of self-hatred over the years, and, with that territory, this is big trigger warning here, just making sure you know. I have tried to not be here twice because of that. And I, continuously for years, I had just this kind of like pervasive self-hate, like just in everything, pretty much a kind of like all-encompassing self-hate. Because I blamed myself for a lot of the things that I now know literally were not my fault, but I'm like, I should have done better in this, I should have known that was going to happen, It's always this thing where I felt like I almost should have been a mind reader, and there's no fucking way I could have done that. But I tried to take myself out of the picture twice, and I'm bringing this up for a reason. This is not like a pity party or anything like that. We're past that, and that's what I'm bringing up. I love myself, and I never thought I would. I never thought I would at all, and it's just been very, it happened very slowly over time, where it was just, a lot of the negative self-talk I would have, I just kind of started going, well, but you did this. Well, you did that. Because I can't really argue with the effort that I put into things. Because I know when I do, and mind you, it takes a lot more for me personally to pour into things because of, my mental and physical capabilities from my health issues, right? So when I know I've been putting effort continuously into something, even if I can only give it a little bit, it's very easy for me as the person I am to look at that and respect it because it's a pattern of behavior instead of like a one-off thing. And I can't argue with that because I will try and argue out of liking myself sometimes. That's something that I've had an issue with, where it's like, well, I really should have. No. And it's now also turned into, okay, well, I'll keep that in mind for next time. And then I do it. And I've kind of watched myself evolve in a way with that. So I'm now at the point where I actually love myself. And it's weird. It's really weird, honestly. It's very strange to have that sensation where I not only like myself, I love myself. And it's a lot more of just accepting the fact that I am a very flawed individual, just like anyone else, but I've loved plenty of flawed individuals, and I love myself. And, I do think that me being able to look at myself and appreciate things that I'm doing and appreciate the person I am now from, the person I used to be and the person I could have become, because to be quite honest, I could have turned out wildly different had I not actually taken the steps to be accountable for things, had I not actually cared about other people, had I not been putting in work, because mind you, I've not really stopped working on myself for as long as I can remember, to be honest. I don't think I ever plan on stopping, because again, I do think that when you do pour into yourself and how you affect others, because that's a big thing, is you really do need to be as the best version of yourself possible to be able to give yourself to others and not really be the person that I was in a lot of situations. Led to the detriment of a lot of relationships, and a lot of feelings were hurt, and a lot of people did not get the intention from me that I meant, if that makes sense. Because it's the entire thing where it's the road to hell is paved with good intentions. You can still really hurt people. And, I've had a lot of things where, especially my mental health has, held me back from being able to be there for people, or caused, a rift, something like that. So, where I'm at the point now where I'm actually actively, working on these things and looking at myself and being wow, I didn't turn out too bad after all. Unlike, everybody that things about myself, and I will also say because of that, I've been a lot more appreciative and like forgiving of other people. Which, of course, I mean, this is nothing new or revolutionary, right? If you love yourself, you tend to love other people a lot more too, and you can be there for them. It leads to a lot, right? Because if you are like secure in yourself, you can just, again, be giving more and more to other people, and it's not really taking that much away from you like it used to, and it's not you know that you're really trying, and you have good intentions, and you're going to back it up by actually improving, not just, well, I thought about something, and I tried to think about it in a good way. It's, oh, I thought that up, okay, sorry, I'm going to do better next time, and then you do, and you like follow through on that, and you make the best of that situation. But yeah, it's just very strange to me, but it's really nice, honestly, and I mean, it's made me really want to show up a lot more, of course, but I've had this thing where essentially it's obviously the panini, as people have been calling it, with that when it happened. I've been very isolated since 2020. So it's been nice because I've been wanting to reach out more. I've been really cut off from like pretty much everybody except for like my spouse, and that's it. The fact that I was able to get to the point where I do love myself when I've kind of been like cut off from everything is insane to me. But I'm at the point now where it's like, okay, I think I definitely now just want to be a little bit more part of everything, like a little bit more part of like the world and what's going on out there, essentially. Because it almost does kind of feel like I've just been like kind of like just looking like from like a tower, so I'm just kind of, alright, and not really as much part of things. So definitely I'm going to be trying to do more, not only like, where I'm at around me, but even more things online as well. You want to be there and you want to experience this life with other people, especially like, again, now that I'm at the point where I actually would like to be alive. Again, heavy on I know this is like not the best, I know, I'm aware, but when you're at the point where you actually do want to be alive after not wanting to for quite a while, my entire perspective on things has pretty much changed, where I do want to be there for other people, even more than before. Before I did want to, but it was a lot more of I don't want them to feel the same way that I do, and now it's, I don't want them to feel the same way I did in the past, and I would like to share this sense of contentment and kind of joy, honestly, with them as well. The world's beautiful, and I'm glad I even get to be part of it, you know what I mean? I'm sorry, this is so crunchy. This is so like woo-woo. I'm not really meaning for it to. I'm just genuinely like, wow, what? I like me. If you knew me, if you guys had known me even like 5 years ago, I'd be like, what? I mean, I will also say this. I like me, and I like me enough to the point where I've refused to mask up in a lot of situations where, like I know I'm a freak, like I'm chill with that. I have been one. I would at least like to be a, sociable freak, easy to talk to freak, like that. I want to be like an easy to talk to freak that's like really chill vibes. Like, I say this again when I look like I'm in a cave right now, but like that is a lot more appealing to me than before, especially when I was still in school. I would have to mask up pretty much all the time because people did not like me. They liked the kind of work casual version of me, if that makes sense, like the business casual version of me. And I just refuse at this point. No, I can't do it anymore. I can't. I just cannot do it anymore. I am chill with the fact that some people are going to absolutely hate my guts that's because I like me. And you know what? I like the fact that they're able to say no and keep going. You know what I mean? I'm glad that they have enough of an opinion and they're able to express that to say, I don't like you. I like that. And I would like them to just, go on your merry way, the best to you. Because, again, I'm about to be 30. When, it's this entire thing where it's like, when do you stop actually doing things, being performative? You know what I mean? When you actually start living. So yeah. And mind you, 30's young. Like, it's young. People are like, oh, after you turn 25, fuck off. No, not even a little, no. When I turn like 40, 45, 50, actually, I would say 50 is when you start getting old. Because again, like 30 and 40, oh, I'm like middle-aged now, cool. Literally cool. That sounds great. Honestly, that sounds great. It sounds very, I lived through my teens, my early 20s. It sounds good to not be there anymore. Yeah, thank you very much. Sounds very good. Because that was actually literally a good portion of my life. I would not wish that on anybody. But again, I'm out of it. I'm still a very gooey, warm, loving, joyful person after all of that, which is insane to be saying. Because if you knew the fact that I am not a bitter, angry, violent asshole is, I've been putting in work. And again, this is the entire thing that I do love about myself is after all of that, I am still a very gooey person. I'm still a very affectionate person. I still want the best for other people. And I still, I'm not blaming everybody for what's happened to me, and I don't feel entitled to things, which that's a big crux issue between me and, honestly, I've already kind of opened up a bit this. That's the major issue, the major divergent factor between my brother and I, because again, we had the same childhood, worse in different ways, but I would say equally as bad. And he did not take accountability for things, and he took everything out on other people, everybody around him, and blamed everybody else around him except for himself for his actions. It was very vengeful and very spiteful. I shelled up for quite a bit, to be honest, but I've been consistently going to therapy and actually working on myself, using the tools that you get from therapy and actually implementing them instead of saying I'm going to therapy and then you just sit there and do nothing with it. There's a big difference between going to therapy and actually working on yourself. But I've been doing a lot of work for a lot of years, and again, I think this is even why I'm at the point where I am able to love myself, because how am I supposed to look at that and not go, alright bitch, okay, alright, I'm happy you did that, I'm proud of you, There's a big difference. There's a conversation that's been had about, nobody owes you anything, you have no obligation to other people, which I do actually believe, but I will say there's a baseline moral obligation you have to other people in the sense that you're not going to do harm to them, and maybe if you're able to help them out, take that extra little step. This has been a big thing when we're even looking at kind of the social situations happening right now. I'm not going to get into all of it, but people that are not around because other people's, genocidal tendencies. But when we're seeing a lot of situations where people are struggling and dealing with just a lot of violence and a lot of, a lot of violence and just these awful situations when there are so many people that are in these horrific situations, we see a lot of this was an entire debate about that, and I'm like, don't be a dick. It takes more effort to not hold the door. You know what I mean? So, and again, there's the entire thing. There's an entire convo about like ghosting versus texting somebody and saying you don't want to see them. I usually fall into the latter category, but like if somebody is possibly going to harm me, yeah, I'm ghosting. You know what I mean? Mind you, I've been out of the dating scene for 9 years, but even back like before, I would tell people if I wasn't into them anymore, unless again, there's a situation where I feel like I'm going to be harmed. That's why I should say I was, because I haven't talked to any of them in forever, but I was friends with all my exes except for like one, for that reason. Because again, like, you can keep a good like rapport with somebody and treat them with love and respect, even if you're not going to be with them in that manner. Even if you stop being friends with somebody, you can treat them with a base level of respect. And mind you, I have not been the best about showing that in the past. I have messed that up too, and I am genuinely sorry about it. But again, like, you don't have to be perfect, but there should be like a base level of like, I'm gonna try and do right by you as much as possible, as long as it's not like really going to be putting me in a bad way. If it's hurting you, then don't do it. But yeah, this has been this is a jumbled little ramble. That's what it's supposed to be. But channel stuff, you will have seen at this point now my April Fool's video. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm having fun. We're having fun on the channel. That's what we're doing. We're having fun. For some reason, TikTok keeps removing my gum chewing videos, and they keep flagging them for drugs and alcohol, and I don't understand. I'm really confused. But I'm not really sure as to why they did that. But I don't know what is going on with TikTok, especially considering the fact that they just announced they're doing even more monetization for like the 5-minute and up videos, like long videos. They're doing extra monetization now for that. But there's the entire thing happening with the US government at the same time, and they announced it after that bill was signed. So like, I don't know what's going on with them. I don't know if they're even going to be around. I mean, I'm going to be fine. That's not even my main platform. But like, I do feel bad for people who have primarily been on TikTok if this ends up being something that blows up and like gets rid of the app. Because I mean, again, it does kind of make you a little suspicious that, Twitter got bought by Elon Musk after being such a good support system for people trying to share news, including news about him. And then now you have TikTok, which was such a big place for people sharing news. And now, it's possibly being, yoinked. And then you look over at like Threads/Instagram and you see how much news was on there, especially political news. And now they have the entire filter feature that you actually have to go in and turn the filter feature off instead of it being something you turn on. I don't know, just things to think about. I don't even think that's a conspiracy or anything. I'm literally just saying that's really fucking suspicious, and I'm kind of like side-eyeing it. This is not some like big like tinfoil hat sort of thing. I could tell you about some of those, but literally, like, they are, if you look at declassified documents, there you go. I don't need to sell you anything. That shit's wild. Things that are actually on paper, that's wild enough. I don't need to be like, we're all going to be in the metaverse in like 10 years and then the inside of the planet is completely hollow. And no, literally, go read some declassified documents right now. There you go. That is crazier shit than I could sell you, okay? Real. But yeah, it is just very strange timing, isn't it? During an election year. And I'm not trying to be, like we'll say America-centric or anything of the like, United States of America-centric, but it is, during a very, very decisive election year, and all of this is happening with primarily American companies or, the US government. So, again, like, I don't know, man, that's really suspicious. I don't know about I'm a little worried. But there's nothing that you and I can do about it except go out there and vote. Anyway, but as far as channel stuff goes, though, I've been having a lot of fun with it. I'm hoping that I'm actually able to get my output even higher. I've been doing really well at getting things done in the background, but you're not going to see a lot of it quite yet. I've been learning quite a bit, which, I mean, I've been trying to the entire time I've been doing the channel. I'm learning as I go, kind of, because I was like, best way to get to know how to do something is to do it. So I've been doing quite a bit behind the scenes, though, and I'm hoping my work output, it's been a lot better, and it seems to be getting better. Personal life-wise, health-wise, wow, I've been doing great. Wow, I've been having some more pain days here and there. My sleep's been kind of spotty, but, physically, my body-wise, I'm, a lot stronger, and I didn't realize it. I'm a lot stronger than I was. So I've been able to, when I'm moving or bending or anything like that, it's been a lot less painful. So it's been very good. Very, very good for me. I feel a lot better. And, it's just kind of my health overall has been, even month on month, has been doing way better. So I'm looking forward to seeing my rheumatologist in June so she can tell me that I'm doing such a good job and that she's proud of me, because to be quite honest, I care for no one else's validation except for my rheumatologist. My doctor tells me I'm doing well. That's all I ever wanted. That's what I want. I want my doctor to say, you've been doing such a good job. Because the amount of things I have to do, especially as far as my eating, but working out, not doing this, that, the other, watching this, that, the other. The amount of things I have to do on a daily basis to seem normal, it's quite a bit. There's quite a bit of effort going into it. So I go in there and I get that blood work back, and they look through everything. They say, you've been doing phenomenal. That is what I live for. So when I start doing really bad, when I'm older, I'm just going to keep crying every time I go in the office, okay? Here's hoping I make it that long, you know what I mean? Genuinely, I didn't think I'd make it here. Again, that's kind of the theme. That's kind of the theme of this video, isn't it? I do apologize if that was a very intense topic or anything of the like, but again, it's just, the rambles are kind of to have something in the background that's a little interesting, telling you a little bit, and again, I'm just kind of sharing the joy that I'm having, because wow. And again, things that have happened in the past, I'm kind of looking at a lot of things that are just kind of like scars, where it's it happened, it really did hurt, but the longer that you have scars, they'll white out and then fade, and they still are not the normal skin that you have. You can still see them, but they're a lot less noticeable, and you look on them a lot more of a, I'm glad I'm not there anymore, versus an, active healing process that hurts quite a bit. It's more, that's healed, and I'm glad it's there. Healed. It taught me things, now that it's healed. But yeah, it does feel very good to be where I am at this exact point. And I just wanted to share that bit of joy, because I know, we're all kind of struggling out here, whether it's one way or another, whether or not it's financially or mentally or even physically, emotionally, every LY you can get, really. So it's very nice to be able to share that, the struggle's been a little bit worth it. There's a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. And I wanted to share that, again, as somebody that, being real with you, never in a million years would I have thought that I'd be saying that. Being completely real with you, I thought I was going to feel that way about myself until the end of my days. And this is something where, again, I've had this entire kind of a theme that I've been thinking about, which is basically, I do not know shit, and neither does anyone else. We are all foolish, and we don't even know what we want. So it is best to just do the best that we can and try and keep our minds open. So me even thinking that I would never love myself, why? Why not? It's possible. It could happen. So I'm now thinking of things a little bit more like that, and a little bit more of, okay, that seems nice. Let me try and work towards that goal, but if that doesn't happen, at least I'm, putting in some work and some good intention, and that'll lead to something. So yeah, I'm just sharing my joy, and it's a very good place to do so, considering this is supposed to be helping people deal with life, essentially, because that's kind of what ASMR is. You're supposed to be going to sleep, it's supposed to be entertaining. Both of those things do lead to a better quality of life, so kind of is in the same wheelhouse. There is somebody shooting at that shooting range. Again, I don't know if you can hear that. Those are gunshots. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's definitely not a weird time for them to be over at the shooting range. They're definitely not going through something. But anyway, I'm going to end this one here just because it's going to get very long. But I hope you all like the videos that have happened in April and that will be happening in April. Apologies again on the March ramble being at a weird time if I had actually done it when I was supposed to do it. I just knew that I was going to have 2 long videos coming out. I was like, I'm just going to wait. I'll just put a little pause on it and we'll just, keep it rolling. Maybe I'll do an extra little ramble this month to kind of make up for that later on in the month. Might do something like that. Maybe I'll just pick a topic. But I guess we'll see, fingers crossed, that I actually have something. I can talk about pretty much anything, but finding something that's actually worth talking about, that might be different. Being able to ramble on, even a color, I could do that. I could be like, oh, chartreuse green. I actually do have a lot to say about that. See, I could, but is that really interesting? Maybe. But let's find something maybe a little bit more interesting, right? Maybe a little bit more. But I hope you're all doing so absolutely well out there, and you stay well, and you stay safe. And I hope you have an absolutely fantastic, wonderful, beautiful